What's going on, guys? Joe's Reviews here, and today we're going to be looking at the Razer Orochi V2. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for the support lately. We just hit 300 subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. And it does motivate me to make more videos, though I have been busy lately with work, but I am going to try to put some more videos out in the near future. So, starting off with the Orochi V2, I think the first thing that is kind of important to talk about is the battery. This mouse does not have a rechargeable battery. It is a AAA or AA battery mouse, which I think anyone watching this video already knows that because the mouse has been out for almost a month at this point. And I do enjoy the fact that they have these like kind of diagonal battery slots, and it is really cool that they include the option for both AA and AAA out of the box. I do prefer using the AAA, of course, because it is lighter. I think this comes in at around 65.2 grams on my scale. I do have in this little, it's called Favali. It's like a pack of 4 was like $10, rechargeable batteries off of Amazon. And it does have the micro USB slot, so you can use the magnetic charger with it. So when I need to charge it, which has only been once, I've used this mouse for 3 months, probably like 6 hours a day. And I've only had to charge it once. So the battery life, they advertise like 400 hours. Obviously, it's not 400 hours, but it is really good. You're not going to have to replace the batteries all that often. And for me, I don't really mind the battery aspect. I do like having this AAA in the back here rather than having it in the middle. I feel like, I don't know why, but I kind of prefer that having a little bit more weight at the back rather than having it all centered on the middle axis, which a lot of people would disagree with me, but I don't know, that's just my preference. So, other than that, the wireless in this mouse is Razer wireless tech. You're going to have like basically no problems with that at this point. Their wireless tech is basically flawless. Now, there was a tad bit of pre-travel on the main buttons. So what I had done, and I don't recommend that you do it, is I held the top shell like this, and I just kind of bent the main buttons just a tad, just to tune them in a little bit better. After doing that, I've had no issues with pre and post travel. Extremely snappy clicks. These are the Razer mechanical V2 switches, which I think are basically just recased GM 4.0s, and I do really enjoy the Kale 4.0. I have them in a couple other mice that I have soldered in myself, and I really enjoy the tactility of the switch. Some people do not, but that's my personal preference. I do enjoy the switches a lot on this. Now, the side buttons, they are pretty standard side buttons. At this point, you're not really getting any perfect side buttons, so there is a little bit of post-travel. Actuation is right there, and then you can press it in. But, I mean, it's really not a problem because there's really no pre-travel, so you can quickly, actuate those side buttons. Scroll wheel is pretty standard. It feels basically the same as the Viper Ultimate scroll wheel. It's good. Good tactile bumps. I like that it has these little beads on it. The little row of beads for grip gives you a nice texture. Good overall. Now, the main point of, comparison with a lot of other mice is with the shape of this mouse. Now, it is a little bit of a unique shape. A lot of people compare it to the G303, which is fair. It is somewhat of an egg shape. Now, this G303 is destroyed, but you can see it flares out more towards the back of the mouse and comes to a rounded point at the back. But if you look at this mouse, it's much more pronounced at the middle, and it's much more squared off at the back, somewhat similar to the G303, where the widest points are in the middle and the narrowest points are in the back, which you'll find with the G305 that the widest point is also somewhat further back than it is on these two mice. Now, what I find with my grip is that with this little curve here, I get more of a stable grip using the inside of my palm, which I hadn't realized until I had seen Andrew PP's G303 shape analysis, and I thought about it, and I realized that this is the same thing that happens with the Orochi V2, which is why I think I'm really enjoying the way I grip this mouse, and it's such a consistent grip day to day. Overall, I would say like this shape is my favorite shape that I've used thus far, and I'm going to be continuing to use this mouse. The last thing I think to cover is the feet. I mean, this is an Artisan Zero, and I mean, the feet are pretty good. No complaints at all. The edges are not rounded, but I don't really see that as a problem once you break them in a little bit. There's pretty much nothing wrong with this mouse, I would say, like other than the battery thing, which some people might find annoying, but I don't really mind it. I already had the batteries, so it's not like I'm spending extra money. And those batteries cost me $10, so realistically, the mouse costs, let's say, $80 to get the mouse and the battery. I would recommend you try this mouse if you like the G305 or the G303, because I think it's kind of a good crossover between those two shape-wise, but it is much smaller. I mean, you can just get one last glance there. It is a bit smaller than both of these mice, but overall, I do prefer it over both of these mice. So, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you if you stuck around thus far, and if you did, I would appreciate if you dropped a comment, a like, and a subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.